She's dangerous, she's seductive, she's irresistible. The femme fatale has long been portrayed as the ultimate symbol of feminine power, a woman who outsmarts, outmaneuvers, and ultimately destroys the men who desire her. But behind the smoky glances and red lipstick lies a harsher truth. The femme fatale was never a weapon of feminine empowerment. She was created to fulfill a fantasy. Today, we will be exploring how the femme fatale, rather than offering a true vision of the female agency, is often a mirror of the male gaze, a figure shaped by fear, fantasy, and control, and why, even today, she remains trapped in a story that was never hers to tell. Violent women have been appearing in cinema since its inception, as early as the 1910s, but the most notable appearances of the violent woman began in the 1940s with femme fatales in film noir. The femme fatale is a key character archetype in film noir. She is often depicted as a seductive and dangerous woman who lures men into a trap for her own benefit. She is meant to embody a challenge to traditional gender roles and societal norms, often driving the narrative suspense and moral ambiguity. This archetype of female characterization became a staple in the action genre in the 1960s, with white women exacting revenge, followed by the blaxploitation films of the 1970s. In the 80s, a new type of woman in action emerged, one who could participate in the kind of action only men could, but her actions were always undercut by the physical inferiority of being a woman. She's hot and she's powerful, but she's not quite as effective as her male counterparts. As more women were featured as action leads, the more likely they were to be sexualized. About 29% of female characters in the genre are in revealing clothing, when the leading roles and 26% of those female leads appear partially or fully naked during the film. Why? Because American popular culture is driven by heterosexual male fantasies. The 1990s brought an era known as action babe cinema, where a woman character would achieve the same physical prowess as a man while maintaining her feminine perfection, not a hair on her head disheveled and makeup unsmudged. Her power was never intended to intimidate, but to sexually titillate her audience, to turn them on. The 2000s were the evolution of action babe, now entering the era of the fighting fuck toy, this object of mass destruction capable of arousal in and out of combat. As time goes on, our femme fatales get stronger. They go from the promiscuous wives of torturous men to bombshells who are weapons of mass destruction. But analyzing the likeness of characters such as Gilda in the 1946's Gilda in contrast to characters such as Halle Berry's Catwoman leads to more of a stagnance of progress rather than an evolution. The women that fill the archetype featured in these films continue to serve the gaze of the male audience and exist in the guise of men desiring to possess them for their sexuality. Action films dominate the box office with their thrilling, high-octane stories, yet beneath the excitement lies an untold narrative. Women, sidelined for decades, portrayed as passive figures catering to male-centric fantasies. Mass media is a powerful tool, shaping societal norms and attitudes. It dictates how we act and it reinforces gender expectations. On screen, women are told they must stay feminine and fragile, prioritizing beauty even in moments of chaos. Simone de Beauvoir once said, "One is not born, but rather becomes a woman." Femininity is shaped by societal expectations, a reality long reflected in action films, but the feminist movement of the 1960s and 70s sparked change, bringing strong, intelligent female characters who could hold their own in male-dominated genres. Take Ellen Ripley, for example. In Alien, she wasn't defined by her appearance, nor did she rely on superhuman powers. She was an ordinary woman with extraordinary strength of character, intelligence, and grounded, a true warrior. And though she challenged conventions, Ripley never lost her femininity. Today's action genre showcases two archetypes for female leads, warriors and saviors. Warriors like Ripley and Elizabeth Salander drive narrative with intelligence and strength, while saviors like Wonder Woman and Katniss Everdeen take center stage, leading the fight against evil. Characters like Elizabeth Salander stand out for defying traditional beauty norms and embodying emotional complexity. marking significant growth in women's roles within the genre. Representation in action films matters as these stories shape cultural norms and inspire future generations. While the fight for equality continues, today's heroines embody resilience, agency, and complexity, rewriting the script for women on screen and beyond.